I've studied thousands of the most successful creators on YouTube, and it turns out they're all using the same 4 content formats to blow up their business. So in this video, I'm going to break them all down. These are the 4 best content formats that you can use on YouTube today to blow up your business. And once you know them, getting leads through YouTube will become dramatically easier. By the way, I'm Andrew. I've done 200k in the last 9 months with my own real businesses, and I've burnt everything down to focus solely on growing this channel. All right, the first content format is called the micro transformation, and this really is the golden goose for getting leads through YouTube. Let me break it down. So most people already know that if you're using YouTube to drive leads to your business, you need to be making content that solves a pain point for your target customer, because that's exactly what's going to draw your audience of buyers to view your content. But the real key here is to understand the psychology behind why a viewer would want to watch that type of a video. The goal here is to have the viewer solve a tiny part of a problem through each video that they watch on your channel. This is called a micro transformation. So for example, let's say your target viewer is struggling to get leads into their business through YouTube. They would want a video that shows them step by step how to get inbound traffic into their business. And when they finish watching such a video, they should feel that they have the tools necessary to make that happen. That's the micro transformation. But the thing is, then another problem emerges for the viewer. They now need to know how to direct those leads to their product. So to fix this problem, they go searching for their next video on your channel because you've already solved that first problem for them. They find that next video and bam, another micro transformation. And this is one of the most powerful content formulas you can make for your business. Because when you do this, it creates a bingeable library of assets for your viewers. So to confirm, each video that you make should solve one tiny part of a big painful problem for your viewers. And to solve the full puzzle, they need to watch all of your content. So how does that lead a viewer to buying your product? Well, now they have the knowledge to solve their own problem, but most people don't stop there. They actually want the help with the implementation of solving that problem. So you give them the information that they need to solve that problem, create the micro transformation along the way that builds that trust and loyalty, and then offer them help to solve their problem quicker. So now you have the first content format. But if you analyze the content on any very successful YouTube business, you'll notice that there's one specific type of video that prints cash, and it's responsible for most of their revenue. But the best thing about this video is it even works on small channels, and it's called the Stealth VSL. Let me break it down. So on the surface, this often just appears as a regular video. It usually manifests as some comparison video, like the best business models to start in 2026, or something like this. Because this type of video gets a lot of people to click out of curiosity. But is that what the video is actually about? Well, kind of, but it goes much deeper than that. The viewer thinks that they're watching a simple video about the best business to start, but they're actually being led down a one-way street which directly points to the YouTuber's product. Let's use the comparison video example. You begin by naming the top 5 business models to start in 2026. You break them down by how easy the business is to start and the potential for making life-changing money. It just so happens though, after reviewing all the business models to start in 2026, the easiest business to start is the one you happen to be selling your course on. The viewer's already been hooked, and their guard has been let down because the video appears objective. At the end of the video, you mention if they need help implementing this new easy business model, to book a call with your team in the description of the video below. And this is the format that most huge content creators use. The thing is though, most people at this stage have become aware of this type of internet marketing. So to pull this off, it's best to give the viewer as much value as possible and solve one, if not multiple micro transformations before selling your product. Because when you do this, it builds loyalty, trust, and gets viewers to really buy into you for genuine reasons. So to confirm, the Stealth VSL format and the micro transformation format used in combination can be an absolute goldmine for generating leads through YouTube. Now you know 2 powerful formats you can start using today. But to be honest, most successful YouTube businesses, including those that have a very small channel, use this next format that I'm going to mention. And this is because it doesn't require a lot of skill to pull off. And not doing this next one would be a huge mistake for a small YouTube channel. But before I break down this next format, I want to tell you that from studying the most successful creators out there on YouTube, I've noticed that they all use a systemized way on how to generate leads to their business. Something that makes creating video ideas and content formats effortless. Which is why I created a simple Notion doc that allows you to create content formats, titles, thumbnails, and scripts all in one place. You can grab it down in the description below. Now this next one is called the breakdown format. Most people love to watch videos about how things work, whether it's about cars or how to solve a particular business problem that they're currently struggling with. Because let's face it, humans are built this way. It's fascinating to try and understand the things that we're curious about. But how can we use this to our advantage to blow up our business? Well, that's where the breakdown content format comes in. And the good news is, it's really quite simple. So the best way to make a breakdown video is to just research the most successful people in your niche. People that already achieved the result that your target viewer wants to achieve. You then simply make a Loom style video breaking down how that person achieved the desired outcome your ideal viewer wants step by step. William Brown, Alex Hormozi, Charlie Morgan are just some of the creators that do this brilliantly. But I can already hear you thinking, how would it benefit me to break down someone else's successful strategy? Surely that would drive more viewers and credibility to their channel, not yours, right? Well, yes and no. The thing is, when you post a breakdown video, it's not only about showcasing someone else's successful strategy. It also shows you know exactly what problem your audience is facing, and you've gone and done the research on their behalf. And in doing this, it builds huge trust and loyalty from your audience. But you can also combine the breakdown method with something else, which will take your business to heights that you never imagined, which is the interview with a twist. Because with the breakdown method, we took someone that had the desired result that your viewer wanted, and we broke down their strategy, which will build an insane amount of trust on your channel. But what if we were to interview one of your clients that had success with your help? Well, that would build the next level of trust. But what's really interesting is the psychology behind why it turns viewers into buyers. So let's say someone is struggling with a way to get clients into their business. Then suddenly someone comes across a video on your channel breaking down how they went from no clients to working with some of the biggest names in the industry, all with your help. What do you think the person watching that video would think in the moment? They'd want to work with you as well, right? The thing is though, most people never make these type of videos. So it's super important that if you actually have any client results, you interview those clients and use them to drive leads through YouTube. Because when you do this, it builds more trust than the other three methods combined. So now you have the right viewers, they're watching your content, and they're ready to buy. But how do you convert those viewers into paying customers? Well, if you watch this next video, somewhere around here, you're going to learn how to turn those viewers into a constant stream of paying customers.